Good morning. Today I want to talk to you about a podcast that I recently listened to. For those of you that know me, you know I'm obsessed with Brooke Castillo. She has a podcast called The Life Coach School. And the topic was the brain and change. Now, I was mind blown by it because I absolutely loved it. And I've always, I always like to pick up things that will help my challengers. And I think this helped me so much to sort of grasp this concept. And I hope it helps you because in this group, we're all facing some sort of a change, like whether it is the nutrition plan or whether it's working out every day or whether it's drinking more water. There's some sort of goal that we have that has to do with change. In this, what you're really doing is you're changing your brain, because what happens with your brain, which is really, really interesting, is your brain likes the path of least resistance. So your brain gets used to things. Think about it as driving home from work. When you drive home from work, you don't even have to think about it, right? It is so automatic. You take the turns you need to take, and you don't have to like consciously think, I'm going home. This is what I have to do next. This is what I have to do next, because your brain's been conditioned and it's used to it. Now, what happens when you buy a new house? Sometimes you'll be leaving work, or like say you have a doctor's appointment and you're not going home after work. Sometimes you'll end up driving home anyway because your brain's just automatically thinking that, right? So it's kind of crazy to think of what happens when you are trying to change a habit, because your brain actually fights you against it and it fires against it. Like say you were a snacker every night. Your brain is like, I like this. This is what I want to continue doing. So it wants to take the path of least resistance, and it reminds you to go and have a snack at night. Now, when you try to change that habit, your brain doesn't like that. But over time, your brain will learn to like it. And if once you can get it to be the norm, you won't snack at night anymore. You won't even think about it. It's mind-blowing, but it's true. Because think about it. If you do move houses, in the beginning, it's weird. You have to think about it like, oh, I'm not going to my old house. I'm not going to my old house. I'm going to this new house. And then all of a sudden, you just start driving there. Now, there's actually science behind this. And in the podcast, she explains it in like 30 minutes. So it makes a lot more sense. I'm just trying to sum it up for you here. But what I'm telling you is that even though right now in the early stages of change, you have to consciously think about it, you have to fight it, you have to, change your brain every day and really work towards it, because your brain, again, wants to take that path of least resistance that it's used to. If you can stick to this, that will become your brain's path of least resistance. So it's incredible. And I'm telling you, I'm living proof. I am someone who ate. I was such an emotional eater. I crave sugar. I crave salt. I had to have a dessert after any salty. I mean, like there were so many bad habits I had. I think I covered them all. And I've been doing this for so long that now that the good habits are habit, and like it's natural for me and it's not hard anymore. But again, it wasn't easy. And I've been at this for 2 years, and it's natural now. I can't tell you when the shift happened, but it was after a couple challenges. But it is so, so worth it. The only other thing I'm going to add is that when it's attached to emotion. So when what you're doing is attached to emotion. So if you are someone who is an emotional eater like me and you find happiness through the eating and then sadness after because you regret it, negative or positive emotions add to those pathways in the brain. So they actually make them stronger. So if what you're trying to change also has emotion tied to it, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but you can do it. Okay. You can do it. You have to stick to it. Stick with us. Keep putting in the work and just believe in better, because it is so worth it to feel your best every day. I promise you. You guys are doing a great job. Keep on working on changing your brain, and I promise you will change your life. It is so, so worth it. Have an awesome day.